welcome to the Witch of Pine Hollow. This week it is time for another tarot episode, and we will be doing the Magician, card number 1 from the Major Arcana. All I can think of is that song, You've Got the Music in Me, but you want to think you've got the magic within yourself for this card. To begin, let's talk about the Rider-Waite version of the card. To get myself closer to you here. So on this card we have a man standing with his wand held high. He's got all of the different tools from the suits of the tarot. So he's got cups, pentagram, wand, and sword. He's got roses around him, and the general meaning of this card is skill, self-confidence, magic within you. It's a very positive card when it appears upright, or depending on where it is in your reading. Now the shadow side of this card can in general talk about mental illness, depression, not believing in yourself, that lack of confidence feeling of like you're not in a state of flow. There's that like magical feeling, I don't quite know how to describe this, and then there's that very unmagical feeling where you feel like you're not going in the right direction, synchronicities aren't happening. So this card can represent one of those two different things depending on where it appears in your reading, whether you're doing a reversal or not. I thought for this video I would do the same thing as last time and talk about 3 different decks that have very different looking cards and how I've interpreted the different meanings given by the authors, and then talk about where this card has come up for me in the past. So without further ado, I don't resonate with, in this unpopular opinion, the art or the imagery from the typical Rider-Waite deck, and I typically like more nature-based decks, which is what you will see today. So this is actually the first time I've taken a deep look at this card when I was doing research for this video, and now I'm reminded of one more thing. You have the infinity symbol of flow above his head, so that's important too, and you'll see why in a little bit. So the next deck that I would like to take a look at is the Green Witch. This is my favorite tarot deck. I do readings out of this deck every single day, and I really enjoy the art here. It's by Anne Morgan, the Green Witch Tarot Companion. So here we have the witch for the Magician. She's got a raven in the tree. She's got all the same tools that we were talking about. The athame, the wand is in her hand, the pentagram, and the chalice. And she is brewing up her own very special magic. She's not a young witch. She's not an old witch. She's in the middle of her life. And she's brewing up some real special magic. So from this book, we have controlling personal destiny, communication, opening up to a wider audience, power to make changes, skills for achieving goals, practical use of knowledge, originality, problem solving, initiative, creativity, originality, adaptability, and diplomacy. So really in charge of your own self and your own destiny, I would say. For reverse, we have that unconfident feeling, blocked expression, hesitant, guile. You're just like, you're not sure where to go. You're kind of lost. You're not confident in yourself. So this card I think is really beautiful and a different, more female interpretation of what the Magician can look like. Next up, from the Enchanted Forest, this card is absolutely beautiful too. This deck is Your Path Through the Enchanted Forest by LUNAEA, WEATHERSTONE, and I'll put all these decks as I normally do in the comments in case you want to check them out. And I'm going to use the book to show you this card because it's bigger in this guidebook. This guidebook is absolutely stunning. So here we have the Enchanter, and he just looks like Merlin to me, like Merlin from King Arthur, that magical being that's guiding you on your path, but that magical being is inside of you in this case. He's got an owl to represent wisdom in the upper left-hand corner of the card. And he's brewing up some special magic that's beautiful. It's got like trees in it. And he's got all his magical books and items and all kinds of cool things right next to him. And this really represents using your own powers to its fullest, ability to influence and help, power at your command from the book. The Enchanter is far-seeing when it comes to adventures that happen in the forest, and what seems inexplicable and troublesome to you may be part of a larger design that he can only see. Still, you can always learn from him, especially when it comes to using your own powers to their fullest. So you've got a little Merlin inside of you that knows which way to go, and that might not always be the easiest way, but it's the way that you're supposed to travel. This is the way I would interpret the meaning in this book. And finally, I have a new deck. It's the Chrysalis Tarot. I haven't talked about it yet on this channel, by Toney Brooks and Holly Sierra. And this deck is really, really interesting. They took religions from all over the world, meanings from all over the world, and really put them into the tarot. And this one's making me think a lot differently, and it's taking some time for me to study. But I thought this was a perfect debut for this deck on this channel because I absolutely adore this card, and it's a completely different way of looking at the Magician. So we have these ravens in a tree with these eyes. So this is the second time we've seen ravens today. But these ravens are really special, and I'm going to do my best to pronounce this correctly in Norse, but it is Hugin and Munin. So these are Odin's ravens, and they are on the Tree of Life here, and in Norse mythology, these ravens brought Odin the Tree of Life. They are his thought, memory, they tell him all this stuff about the 9 worlds. So they really represent that inner thought and knowing. And I think this is really beautiful here. And this guidebook talks about that state of synchronicity and flow. New exciting cycle with new possibilities. So have you ever been in that state of magic and flow where things are just happening? You're happy, you're in gratitude of your current situation, and new opportunities are popping up, and you just really feel good. You're in flow, nothing's fighting you, technology's not breaking. That's the feeling of this card, and I love this interpretation with the ravens who guide Odin to that space. So really, really interesting. I did a little bit of research in my Norse magic book that I got on Thrift Books, which is really beautiful here to learn a little bit more about them and their meanings of thought and memory. So I will link to some sort of a version of this because it's out of print now from Llewellyn, but I'll try to find another one on Thrift Books that I can put up there. So how have these come up for me? That what I was just talking about with that feeling of synchronicity when I'm going through changes, but it just seems to be the right thing over and over again. Maybe new job opportunities or interviews are coming up, or something in my creative or personal life is just flowing. Or on the reverse, I could be struggling with believing in that magic in me, and this card will come up and to remind me that everything that I need to travel my best path is in here, and I just need to believe in myself and have confidence to do that. So this card is coming up. It could be a sign that you're in that state and to continue to be in that state and you're in that flow, or it could be a message that you need more self-confidence. You've got to believe in your own magic. You are magical. You can do this. Have faith in yourself to keep going. So I know this was a little bit quicker video than usual. I just wanted to give you some magic on this Monday about the tarot. Message of the day: go out there, be your own magic, because you are a magical, wonderful being, and believe in yourself. I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.